All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock Baton Rouge Clinic, Hoodco Roofing, HoodcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hoodco Roofing, HoodcoRoofing.com. All right, hope your Thursday is off to a fantastic start. You know the drill. If you got questions, comments, fire away. If you're new, thank you for being here. We're here every single day, not just weekday, every single day, and have been for more than 4 years now. So, thanks for being here. Fire away, questions, comments. Ian Book era in New Orleans is over. Book claimed on waivers by the Eagles. Excuse me, which is surprising considering you claim someone on waivers, they got to go on your active roster. So the Eagles will be carrying three quarterbacks with Jalen Hurts, Gardner Minshew, and now Ian Book. So anyway, it's obviously disappointing. You use a fourth round pick on a guy who doesn't make it to year two with your team, but we've seen that happen before. You know, guys who were fourth round picks that were total busts. We tend to pay more attention to the quarterbacks, which I understand. I also don't mind at all, taking a shot on a quarterback in a mid round if you have an appropriate grade on the player, because that player could become Kirk Cousins or the aforementioned Gardner Minshew. There's just a line of cars outside of my house. What is going on? Anyway, yeah, it's apparently a lot of y'all heard Russ's prediction yesterday. So Russ Mitchell on AFR picked LSU 4-8. Woo! 4-8. God help us if this team goes 4-8. Oh, jeez. Anyway, let's say some good mornings. Get right to you, Kelly Gross, Hunter Eilers, morning Scone. What role do you think Sage Ryan plays? He is backing up Greg Brooks as the nickel safety. So, same role he played last year, but he was injured for much of the year, obviously. He was backing up Cordell Flott, who played really well in the nickel, but Greg Brooks is kind of your nickel safety, and Ryan's backing him up. So I think you'll get a bunch of run, but he's still in a backup role right now. Thomas Bergeron, Quentin Brickbill, Larry Freeman. Good morning. Game week, it is indeed 3 days away, man. I mean, it's Thursday. You got football tonight, y'all. Today is a college football Thursday. Tennessee is in action tonight. I'm pretty sure Missouri plays tonight as well. Let me make sure. Let me get the schedule. But I'm pretty sure Missouri hosts Louisiana Tech tonight. Let's see. Thursday slate. Tennessee's hosting Ball State. All right, here you go. Central Michigan is at Oklahoma State. West Virginia Pitt on ESPN, 6 o'clock, get the backyard brawl. Tennessee hosts Ball State on the SEC Network. Central Florida hosts South Carolina State. Bryant against FIU. Long Island University against Toledo. VMI against Wake Forest. Penn State Purdue on Fox tonight. How about that? Penn State and Purdue, Big Ten action on Fox. Eastern Illinois against Northern Illinois. Alabama A&M against UAB. Louisiana Tech against Missouri. New Mexico State is at Minnesota. Arizona State is at home against Northern Arizona. Fresno State against Cal Poly, and Portland State, San Jose State. You got a bunch of games tonight. Some Power 5 schools playing, a couple of SEC schools playing. Excited about this tonight, man. Go binge on some football tonight. Tim Gotro, D's Barbecue. Good morning. Love the channel. You do a stand-up job. Come by my tailgate tent, get some barbecue and hang out. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Don't get to make it out to campus on game days, but if I ever do, I will come find you. Brad David, good morning. Will there be AFR on Labor Day? Yes, there will be, Brad. We always do Labor Day shows. Full lineup on Labor Days because it's always the Monday after LSU plays. So yes, we work on Labor Days. Trivia Carter, Jesse Brown, morning, Matt. With Saints cutting Washington, does this mean Kamara, Ingram, and Tony Jones will carry the load? Do we sign another back? They're going to have to add another back. Keeping in mind that Washington was on the team, not so much as running back, give you depth there, but more as a special teamer. So if you feel like you have enough guys that can fill his role on special teams, cool. But I've been beating that drum since free agency started, that they need to add another running back. See if they will. I mean, I think they should. I think they're very thin there, but see. Larry Garner, Pat Huseman. So Joseph Feltwell. Oh, let's cut number 10. That's Traquan, yes. Yes, let's cut Traquan Smith. 4-8 season is ridiculous. Glenn Crowd is 4-8 is ridiculous. Basically, Russ thinks we can't beat any SEC teams. He said they beat Mississippi State and lose the rest of their games, go 1-7 in the league. I agree that that's ridiculous. It feels kind of like Desmond's moonshot, Hail Mary prayer of a Final Four, where you're kind of doing that maybe just to get some attention. I don't know if Russ actually believes, meaning like if he had to place a wager, would he wager on LSU 4-8? The one thing that I'll point to, because we run through so many predictions from, different metrics and then pollsters and players in Vegas and all this sort of stuff. The one thing that leans toward Russ's number is the raw number from Vegas. If you remember, we talked about that a few weeks back, that one of the odds makers said our raw number is actually 5.5 on LSU. But his thought was, if we put the number 5.5, we will attract massive action on the over, which they already have at 7. So they were able to bump the number, and they're still lopsided on the over because people see a name brand like LSU and they just think over. But Vegas odds makers said the raw number on LSU is 5.5. Bill Schmid, David Coslin, Ryan Amanda Guidry, Matthew Gardner. Hey, Dad, good morning. Brant Roban. Listening to Sports Talk up here in Knoxville, one of the guys said Brian Kelly will not win a natty at LSU. Other guy said yes, because if Les and Ogeron can win, Brian Kelly should win one. I mean, that's been the whole point down here, too. Thad Landry, how was a single barrel last night? Awesome. Last night they treated us, man. Break-even bottle last night at Oliver Twist was Weller Single Barrel, the orange label Weller, which I have. YouTube is there. Facebook is there. It is magnificent and was great last night. $5 a pour last night. Now you're going to pay $40 if you go today. $40 for a pour, but $5 last night. Jason Horn, Truax, what's up? The guy that said 4-8, really. Matthew Gardner, my feelings are so hurt. Weller Single Barrel was $5 last night, and I now live 500 miles from Baton Rouge. Hey, man, that's what people come to Oliver Twist. And I heard next week's pour is, I don't want to spill the beans yet in case it doesn't happen, but what next week pour is supposed to be is pretty incredible, too. Vernell Thomas, morning, Scone. Feeling a bit depressed. I need CD and Quan back on the squad. For as much as we talk about Saints culture, as much as that matters, those two guys were a big part of that, right? But I also, the more I've talked to folks around there, the more it kind of seems like they were concerned because let's put it this way. I think there was a growing sense that Chauncey's contract was going to be a problem in the locker room. So they value culture, man. Stephen Fry, 34 years young today. The only gift I need is for LSU to put on a show this weekend to hell with everything else. Well, happy birthday, Stephen. Hope you have a great day, man. Cheers to 34 and to many, many more healthy years. Hope you have an awesome day, man. Philip Streva, Caleb Vines, Stephen Dufour. The Eagles must have the Saints notification bell on when they're getting rid of players. Hey, look, man, I mean, the Saints and Eagles did the did the trade in the draft. Um, Obviously, they just traded Chauncey, and now they picked up Ian Book. I mean, it's interesting. Sometimes that happens, man. I remember for a minute it felt like the Saints in Seattle were those teams. I mean, that's where the Saints traded Jimmy Graham. I feel like they did a couple of draft day trades like that as well. So sometimes GMs work well, sort of together to get deals done, and that's apparently happening with Mickey Loomis and up in Philly. Kenneth Kyle, is Terrio's son an LSU baseball target? Not yet, Ken. So Houston, that's Ryan's son. Houston is he's starting his junior year at Dunham. I think he's got to play a little more, But when you just look at, so weird to say it this way, because I mean, known Houston since he was a little kid, but just big, strong kid, great genes, got a lot of tools to be really good. John Webb, Chase Pellegrin, Matt Godwin. Let's see, Ryan. They had a big Ian Book fan. I mentioned he was going work in the snack bar with the Eagles. She got all butthurt. Brad David, curious, how did you meet Russ Mitchell? He's a funny guy. Thanks for getting him back on air. 2012 SEC Media Days. It was our first year at Media Days. I'm standing at our broadcast table, and we have a table skirt. Like it's sort of like it's a skirt. I mean, it's the big sheet that you hang over the table with the station logo and all in front of it. And so Russ saw it and goes, Baton Rouge, you should have me on the air. I was like, okay. So we did, kind of hit it off, and there we went. And as you all now know, Russ's sort of secret, which he doesn't like people to know because, he doesn't want people to have the impression of bias. Russ attended LSU. Fascinating guy. His mother is British. His stepfather was working at Exxon, so got transferred here to Baton Rouge. So Russ went to McKinley. They lived in Riverbend, went to McKinley, went to LSU. And then they got transferred, I believe, after that to, I think his folks maybe in the Bay Area. But Russ lives in Scottsdale, or Phoenix. And yeah, man, it's wild. Great friend, man. Love the guy. Oh, look at this, Aaron Fontaine. Today is my birthday. Power's at work, going home early. Happy birthday. So Aaron and Stefan, you have this great synergy here on Morning Scone. A couple of Morning Scone birthdays today. Happy birthday to you, Aaron. Weston Weaver, Jason Mobile, first Gardner Johnson, then Russ. What's going to happen today to break my heart? Gary Hughes, yesterday's AFR got blocked on YouTube. Can't watch due to copyright. Yeah, Carrie, that happens typically if you play licensed music, which the only thing I can think is on Russ's Open with Saturday Night Special. That might have been what got flagged, but yeah, that sucks. If that keeps happening, we'll have to change it. Strong side, good morning, Jesse Brown. We never mentioned the quarterback the Saints drafted out of Colorado State. He was also a bust. Don't remember his name. It was Garrett Grayson, by the way. But that's because most of the time, look at Sam Darnold. Look at Mitch Trubisky. Do you want to run through the list of first-round quarterbacks that don't make it in the league? I mean, it's even rarer that mid-round picks do. So, yeah, I mean, we can go back and talk about when Sean Payton drafted Sean Mannion in round 7 out of Oregon State. It's rare that quarterbacks make it. It's rare that any position makes it. We focus so much on quarterbacks. Leandra Lewis, 4-8, let's go. Wendell Norman, good morning. Taz, Matt, Zach Bain, Bond, Traquan have dirt on the Saints. Taz, look, man, if the just unfortunate truth is, if you have players that are kind of on par, where it's hard to differentiate, the player they invested a draft pick in is gonna get the benefit of the doubt. Ryan Pike, correct me if I'm wrong, would you agree Dapper Labs is a competitor of Gamecoin? No. Dapper Labs, by the way, is just creating NBA Top Shot. First of all, I mean, they have an NBA contract. So they are, I mean, they've done incredible stuff. I think the unique twist on the utility with Gamecoin is that any athlete can have their own fan token. It's not just about NFTing pictures or videos or anything. It's that an athlete can have their own smart contract fan token. Eric Wilderotter, more Matt. I know you said we were okay last year without Chauncey. We were literally 0-5 without him on the field. Worry this impacts all my Saints futures. Hey, Eric, the Saints weren't 0-5 because of Chauncey. It was because they were playing Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill and Ian Book at quarterback. All right, don't get it twisted, bro. Tavanka De Silva, good morning. Dick Burles and Matt, you blasted me for being a 49ers fan from Louisiana. Come to find out you grew up a Notre Dame fan. How do you reconcile that? That's real easy, Dick, because I've always been an LSU fan before I was a fan of Notre Dame or anything else. And you have a pro team in this state. Look, man, I went to the Notre Dame Stadium in 1998 with LSU stuff on. In 1997, I went to the LSU Notre Dame game in Tiger Stadium and the Independence Bowl and cheered for LSU. Wasn't hard. You can like a team that's not from here. It doesn't mean I was like a diehard, all that. And certainly not now by any stretch. But if you're a 49ers fan, forever they were in the old NFC West with the Saints. They're in the same division. You're from Louisiana cheering for the team from the division, like just because they're good. Kick rocks. That's how I reconcile it, Dick. Jesse Brown, Matt, I think Russ Mitchell lost a little credibility yesterday. My prediction is 8 wins. Okay. Trez, Madden 247. I'm so happy Ian Book got out of New Orleans. What a great day. Book's going to be a great quarterback in this league. I don't know that we'll ever see Ian Book start a game again. And the only reason he started the one he started was because of COVID. Robbie White, good morning. Do you think if Daniels wins the job, it's not so much an indictment on Nuss's ability? Maybe he can move in the pocket from an inexperienced O-line. I think that's exactly what it is. I think he's a veteran quarterback, and his running ability is the differentiator. And I absolutely think they want a mobile quarterback behind this line, 100%. Sean Michael Habits. Enjoyed you and Seth Rogen's show last night. Corey Davis. You have to bet the house on starting quarterback for LSU Sunday. Who are you betting on? Jaden Daniels. I've been saying I'm the one flipping person who's been saying this since he transferred in. Y'all don't get it twisted now. Chance Babbitt, Zalance Hurd today is announcing big offensive lineman out of Neville. Earl, what's going on? Matt, our Yankees got to get together. Huge series against the Rays coming up. Yeah, last night sucked. Michael Richard, good morning. Paul Losi, good morning. Earl, Matt, take the under LSU FSU game. I don't know what the total is, Earl. I haven't even looked at the total. My apologies. Let's see. The total is 51.5. Wow. That's actually right about where I was. I mean, I think last night I was going to TS said something like 27-23 or 20, 28-24, 27-20. I think it's gonna be a game like that. I think I think it's a game in the 20s, high 20s to low 20s, like LSU upper 20s, Florida State lower 20s. So close to that total. That's interesting. Rhoda Ewell, Washington, Oregon in the Big Ten. Don't know. I mean, eventually. Dax Jeter, Coach Kelly's giving off a very confident feeling. What do you make of this? He's a coach. Glenn Thomas, Malik Neighbors, breakout player. I agree. Travis Roy, Gamecoin AMA updates. Missed the 2 or 3 minutes we would get on Nightcap with Scone. Would always fire me up and have me added to my wallet. You can always ask if you need the 2 or 3 minutes. And it's punch list time right now, which is awesome. But the thing that I've said, and I'll keep saying, is we don't want to do the AMA until the platform is ready so we can show you the platform. And so, like, literally every day, what's happening right now, and it's so tedious, but it's clicking every single button on the platform and making sure it does exactly what it's supposed to do. And if it doesn't, then you write it down, you send it back to the developers, like, this needs to be fixed. So then you do it again and again. I mean, it's just, like, that stuff, it has to work, right? I mean, it just, you can't launch if, like, you click, football and it takes you to a soccer page. I'm making that up, but you know what I mean. It is 7:58. I gotta go. Brant Roban voting on a 12-team playoff. Your thoughts? Yeah, I mean, it's going to expand. It's just a matter of it doesn't expand before 26. Wow, it's a big extension for Russell Wilson. Need to see the term or the how it's structured. Tony Cortello, difference in talent between LSU and Florida State. Gap not as wide as you would assume. Darren Reeves, good morning. I did the same thing T-Bob made the biggest wager of my life, LSU to cover Sunday. Bubba Tatum, love when morning Scone turns into whiskey and wine. All right, y'all, I think we're just about done. My apologies to all those I missed. God, there's a bunch of y'all. Kenyon Hudson, will LSU bring back the gold jerseys? At some point, they will. I mean, I know they're going to do an alternate. That's in their Nike contract, is they have to do an alternate every year. Adam Alexander, Ghastly Gamer, a light worker, switching to Florida State for a second. Any concern in their quarterback's ability to extend plays? Not really. Edward O, what's good? After seeing you with Russ Mitchell, you should know you can be judged by the company you keep. Oh, man. Travis Young, Washington get waived. Yes. All right, y'all. Poor Mark Allen. My birthday's November 8th. Needless to say, it's been a roller coaster the last 10 years of Bama LSU. All right, y'all, we're done. Let's see, Jackson Carney on Scone and T. You seem to sympathize with Russ's 4-8 pick. Are you being overly optimistic with your 8-4 pick? No, I'm not sympathizing with his pick. And I would have to go back. I don't know what specifically you're referring to. My point is, T-Bob was saying that I think it was just like he was a shock jock, just hot take artist. I'm like, that's not really what Russ is. I've done radio with him for 10 years. So, anyway, and what I have said all along is that I think LSU has significant issues, and I think, look, I've picked him 8-4, and that's 4-4 in the league. That's not a great season, but it's a step up from where they were. I think we assume they brought in all these cornerbacks and they're all going to be great. You know what I mean? But it's like your offensive line is brand new. You're still unsettled at quarterback. You're thin at running back. You really don't know what to expect out of your linebackers. And while you have experience at corner, you certainly aren't as talented as you were a year ago. And by the way, special teams, I hold your breath and pray whenever LSU has to attempt a field goal. So that ain't great. You know what I mean? Flip side of it is, you could say, well, Jay Daniels has started 30 games. You got a bunch of future NFL guys on the offensive line. You are super talented at receiver and on the defensive line. You got tons of experience in your secondary. I mean, that's the counter argument to it. So generally, they don't all go bad and they don't all turn out great. So you split the difference is generally how I would look at it. All right, it's 8:02, y'all. I'm so late. I got to go. I got to get Drew up and get him to school. LSU Daily's already live. Please listen, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't yet. AFR3, we'll see you then. Peace.